Gusto ko sana explain sa inyo ang importance ng being grateful. And later I will explain bakit importante ang to be grateful to the past two characters na pinag-usapan natin, being faithful and being sensible. In lesson 3, I introduced you to Matthew 24:45. In this verse, in-explain ni Jesus kung anong hinahanap niyang character sa mga taong ipinagkatiwala niya ang mga ari-arian niya. Let's just read this verse. It says, "Who then is the faithful and sensible slave whom his master put in charge of his household to give them their food at the proper time?" According to this verse, if God will come down today and make us accountable for what we have done, ang hinahanap niya yung taong faithful at saka sensible. When He find people who are faithful and sensible, verse 47 says, "Truly I say to you, that He will put him in charge of all his possessions." Our reward here and in heaven will depend on our faithfulness and our being sensible or prudent. Pero may tanong ako sa iyo. Madali bang maging faithful? Many of you will say, madali naman siguro. Pero madali ba maging faithful pag difficult and unreasonable yung boss mo? Pag toxic ang mga tao sa palibot mo, especially mga kasama mo sa negosyo, pati sa trabaho? Pag mahirap ang trabahong ipinagkatiwala ng Panginoon sa iyo. And in addition, while you work very hard, parati ka walang pera. Madali ba maging faithful? Alam mo ako, I'm realizing madaling maging faithful kung fulfilling ang trabaho or kumikita ang negosyo. In fact, you will find that also in relationships. Madaling maging faithful kung asawa mo mapagsilbi, yung kaibigan mo mabait, mas madaling maging faithful. E paano naman pag maraming problema ang sitwasyon mo? Is it easy to be faithful? Yet, despite of the fact that most of us are having a hard time where we are today, Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 says, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God." Today, maraming tao ang nahihirapan kung nasaan sila. Nahirapan sila sa trabaho nila, thinking that there may be something better elsewhere. Nahirapan sila sa katrabaho nila. Many people are now toxic because people demand na dapat sila una. And then even kung magsipag ka, parating kulang ang kita mo. When your situation makes you anxious, what do you pray for? What do you ask God to do for you? Sabi kanina ng Philippians 4:6, when you are anxious, with thanksgiving, make your requests known to God. So if you are in a difficult situation, ano normally pinagpipray natin? 'Di ba? Deliverance. Lord, dalhin mo ko sa mas magandang trabaho, palitan mo yung boss ko, bigyan mo ko ng isang environment kung saan ako matutuwa magtrabaho. Kasi Lord, mabait naman ako eh. Buwisit lang ang mga kasama ko. Di ba that's what we pray for? I know that kasi many times that's what I pray for whenever I am struggling. Pero would your prayer change if you are grateful? What do I mean? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng pagiging grateful? Let me go back to the verse that we read kanina, Philippians 4:6. It says, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be made known to God." I highlighted the word thanksgiving. Akala ng karamihan ang ibig sabihin ng with thanksgiving, magpasalamat ka na meron kang Diyos na pwede mong dasalan pag nahihirapan ka. Ito lang ba ibig sabihin ng thanksgiving? When I check the meaning of thanksgiving, the Greek word is eucharistia. Ang meaning niya is an expression of thanks, words of gratitude, which means to be grateful. Ano yung ibig sabihin naman ng to be grateful? According to the dictionary, to be grateful is a feeling or showing an appreciation of kindness to what someone has done for you. Alam mo, you can be thankful for your situation. But to be grateful means nagpapasalamat ka dun sa taong nagbigay sa'yo kung anong meron ka today. The idea of being grateful is best illustrated in another Greek word. This word is autarkia. Ang ibig niya namang sabihin is a condition of life in which no aid or support is needed. Meaning you are in a position of self-sufficiency na wala kang kailangan na tulong galing sa iba. It is to have a mind that is contented with his lot. It is an idea of contentment. So therefore, to be grateful is to be contented kung nasaan ka and anong meron ka. Furthermore, when I check the meaning of contentment, it says that it is a state of happiness or satisfaction, to be happy with what you have and where you are. Pero 'di ba, how can you be happy, satisfied and contented when you're in a situation that is difficult? When you are in a condition that you're always anxious, hindi mo alam kung magkakasya yung sweldo mo, hindi mo alam kung hanggang kailan mo kayang tiisin ang boss mo, hindi mo makayanan ang pagkukutya ng ibang tao sa iyo. How can you be contented and satisfied with where you are? Friends, I need you to understand, it does not get better unless we do better. What does this mean? Many of us hindi happy kung nasan tayo kasi we believe there's something better elsewhere. We could find another boss, we could find another job, we can start a new business. Bakit hindi? Kasi nahirapan na tayo kung nasaan tayo. So anong ibig sabihin na it does not get better unless we do better? May tanong ako sa'yo. Supposing iba na yung boss mo. Supposing iba na yung trabaho mo. Do you think you will be contented already? Most probably, pag nakita ka ng ibang tao, you will feel the same. Oftentimes, this is what I tell married couple when they want to separate from their husband or wife. Ang tanong ko sa kanila, supposing iba na Mr. o Mrs. mo, magbabago kaya ugali mo? Magbabago kaya sitwasyon mo kung hindi mo baguhin ang ugali mo? Many of us are not happy where we are because of problems. Di ba, most of us hate problems. However, sabi ng slide na to, but problems like me. So I can't avoid problems. Friends, I need you to understand na maski saan ka pumunta, maski anong trabahong gawin mo, maski anong negosyong simulan mo, there will always be problems. And problems are not necessarily bad. When people challenge your character, it's not always wrong. Alam mo ba that problems made these people great? These are some of the great entrepreneurs of today. And lahat ito gumaling dahil marunong sila mag-respond sa problema nila. I remember when I was reading about the story of Steve Jobs. Do you know that he was fired from the company he founded and that he was only able to come back 10 years after? That experience was very humbling. When he came back to Apple, sirang-sira yung kumpanya and he had to make a lot of sacrifices in order to save it. And naniniwala ako this is the reason why he died early. Kasi sa dami ng stress na dinaanan niya. But even before he left us with a great company. Bakit? Kasi na-realize niya na problems, they are part of our lot. They are part of our blessing. So this slide suggests, enjoy your problems. Ako naman, I am not a person who will encourage you to enjoy your problems. I believe we must embrace our problem. Anong ibig sabihin? Like you, I don't like problems, but I have learned to embrace them. And I got the idea in a story of Jacob when he was about to go home. The Bible tells us that an angel of the Lord wrestled with him. Nung hindi siya manalo, in-embrace niya masyado yung angel. Ayaw niyang bitawan. Sabi ng angel, let me go because the dawn is coming. Sabi ni Jacob, I will not let you go unless you bless me. So ito approach ko pag may problema ako. I will tell God, do not let it end until I learn from it. Now, why would I be so foolish to even ask God, do not let it end until I learn from it? Kasi alam ko uulit eh. If I do not solve this problem today, uulit yan. And I need to learn from it so that I can progress. But first, friends, kailangan ko maintindihan mo. Yung difficulty na dinadaanan mo, they're all part of your lot. They are part of your blessing. So you ask, ha? Blessing? Paano naman nangyari yon? Why would a good God put us in a position of need? Bakit si God ganyan? Bakit si God kung magbibigay lang parating kulang? Hindi enough. Friends, I need you to understand a number of things about God. First of all, He is not a master who finds joy in our sufferings. He is not also a genie who is obligated to give us what we wish for. Instead, friends, God is a Father who gives us what we need. To be grateful is to acknowledge that everything you have, good or bad, is a blessing from the Lord. That the things He entrusted to us will carry things that will make us happy and will bring things that will challenge our character. First Thessalonians chapter 5, 16 to 18 says, rejoice always, pray without ceasing. In everything, give thanks, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Ang sinasabi ba ng verse na to, we should be thankful kasi yun ang will ni God? Yung ba ang will ni God, magpasalamat tayo, maski nasasaktan tayo? Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng God's will? Ano ba talaga ang gusto ni God sa buhay natin? Friends, I want you to take note of this very, very important fact that I will share with you. God's will is not about the course you will take in college, or the career you will pursue, or the business you will establish. It is not even about the person you will marry. Alam mo, God gives us the freedom to choose our course, to choose our career, to choose the business that we will establish, even the person we'd like to marry. He gives us the freedom to do that because of free will. So if you're asking ano ang will ni God, it is not about your choices. It is not about the choices you make in life. Friends, God's will is about responding with gratitude towards the trials, problems, and challenges He gives. Gusto niya pati yung portion ng buhay kung saan tayo nagsistruggle. Gusto niya grateful tayo. Gusto niya pati doon magpasalamat tayo that we see them as part of His blessing. Now, why would He send us problems? Because before God can work through you, He must work in you. Mas importante ang panloob kaysa ang panglabas. Kasi kung ano ang nasa loob mo, siya magdidetermine ng panglabas mo. Alam mo, you can accumulate a lot of money through foolish means. Pero kung kulang ka sa loob, tamang ugali, maubos din yan. Pero kung tama ang ugali mo, maski wala kang pera today, giginhawa ka rin. So friends, God sends us problem to discipline us. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 11 says, all discipline for the moment seems not to be joyful, but sorrowful. Yet to those who have been trained by it afterwards, it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness. I have been telling you again and again that God wants you to become fruitful, to always have abundance. But in order for us to reach that state of life, He needs us to develop the right discipline. Pag sinabi that God disciplines us, hindi ibig sabihin na pinapunish tayo. Ang ibig sabihin nito, binibigyan tayo ng tamang pag-uugali para magawa natin yung gusto niya pagawa, para pagdating ng abundance, hindi natin ikasira. This verse is telling us that disciplines means training. So are you struggling with your job or business? Are you really hurting because of your boss and your spouse? Friends, hindi sila ang may problema. Tayo, because we are not responding properly. And God will allow all these sufferings to make us better. One of my favorite books is a book by James Allen entitled As a Man Thinketh. And sabi niya, the sole and supreme use of suffering is to purify, to burn out all that is useless and impure. The suffering that you are going through is for your good. And gratitude will change everything. Let me share with you a story of a man who is considered the greatest leader in Israel. And he became great because one of his attributes is he was always grateful. And I am talking about King David. When King David was old and his kingdom was established, dumating ang isang araw na he wanted to build a temple for the Lord. Because meron siyang palace and the Ark of the Covenant was just staying in a tent. Kasi yun ang sabi ni God. So one day he went to the prophet Nathan. Sabi niya, I'd like to build a house for the Lord. And Nathan said, that's a good plan. However, that evening, the Lord talked to Nathan. And sabi niya, wag si David. Let me show you what David told his people about the temple. First Chronicle 28:2 says, then King David rose to his feet and said, listen to me, my brethren, and my people. I had intended to build a permanent home for the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord and for the footstool of our God. So I have made preparation to build it. Sabi ng verse 3, but God said to me, you shall not build a house for my name, because you are a man of war and have shed blood. Friends, may tanong ako sa iyo. How would you feel? You wanted to bless the Lord, and yet sabi niya, wag ikaw, kasi you have killed a lot of people. Now, if you were David, sino ba nag-utos sa'yo na patayin mo kalaban mo? Who told you to go to war? Di ba it was the Lord, the God you worship, the God you want to bless with the temple? And then sabi niya, hindi ikaw, because you have shed so much blood. Alam mo, an ordinary man would feel very bad, would feel very rejected. But David was not. Alam mo ano ginawa niya? When the Lord said, hindi ikaw, kundi yung anak mong Solomon, he started to collect all the materials to build the temple. He gathered all the stones, he gathered all the timber, he encouraged all Israel to give their gold, their silver, their bronze na gagamitin for the temple. He gathered all of this para bang bata na excited na meron siyang gagawin, and yet hindi siyang gagawa. And then when he had gathered so much, tingnan natin ano sabi niya sa First Chronicle 29:12. Sabi diyan, both riches and honor come from you, and you rule over all. And in your hand is power and might, and it lies in your hand to make great and to strengthen everyone. In verse 14, sabi niya, "But who am I, and who are my people, that we should be able to offer as generously as this? For all things come from you, and from your hand we have given you." Grabe no? Grabe yung gratefulness niya. Though rineject ni God yung offer niya to build the temple, he still wanted to participate kasi sabi niya lahat naman to sa'yo eh. Di ba blessing na binigay mo to sa akin? Pati yung problema. So gusto ko sana ibalik sa'yo. Alam nyo, I have trained myself to always look at the good in things. In fact, when I was reading the story of David, I asked myself, Lord, why did you not let David build it? During this time, David was very old. He was past 70, close to being 80. And naniniwala ako the reason why God said to David, David, wag ikaw, kasi pagod ka na. You have been through many wars, marami ka nang napatay, marami ka nang ginawa para sa akin. Wag ikaw. Paggawa natin sa anak mo. Today, I use that attitude in all the problems I go through in my life. Today, November 2023, I'm really struggling with many things in my business and in my personal life. Marami kaming problema as we restart our hog operations kasi hindi na kami grower ng Monterey. Hirap kami today with our vegetable operation because there is a recession. Walang pera ang mga tao. There is a personal problem that I am going through that I do not wish for anyone. And yet I always tell myself, meron itong magandang patutunguhan. God allowed this for a good reason. And all my problems will lead to something good. So even today, as I struggle, I am grateful. And the reason I do this is because of the example of David. Nung sinabi ni God sa kanya in First Chronicle 28:3 na hindi siya magbibuild ng temple, di ba sabi diyan, no? But God said to me, you shall not build a house for my name because you are a man of war and have shed so much blood. Sabi niya sa verse 4, yet the Lord, the God of Israel, chose me from all the house of my father to be king over Israel. For he has chosen Judah to be a leader, and in the house of Judah, my father's house. And among the sons of my father, he took pleasure in me to make me king over all Israel. And furthermore, in verse 5, sabi niya, of all my sons. For the Lord has given me many sons. He has chosen my son Solomon to sit on the throne of the kingdom of the Lord over Israel. Do you know why choosing Solomon was special to David? Why he was happy that God chose Solomon to be the next king? Because it was a form of vindication sa kanya. You see, Solomon is his son from Bathsheba. He was born out of sin. And yet, when God chose Solomon, feeling ni David, pinatawad na siya ni God. Alam niyo, friends, David is special. So special that in the book of Acts, chapter 13:22, sabi diyan, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after my own heart, who will do all my will. If you want to be faithful and sensible, you must first be grateful of what you have and where you are today. Sabi natin kanina, to be grateful is a feeling or showing an appreciation of kindness to what someone has done for you. You may be in a position of difficulty or suffering, but that comes from the kindness of the Lord. Kasi your suffering was meant to make you a better person. As I end, I need you to understand that you will never enjoy what you have as a blessing unless you see them as a blessing. Friends, gratitude changes everything. I hope na enjoy mo tong lesson na to. I hope today you will be grateful for whatever you have and whatever you're going through. Kasi lahat yan kasama sa blessing ni God. When you go to your small groups, these are questions I wish you would answer. First, are you looking for a better job or business? Why? What is wrong with what you have? Dapat ka bang maghanap ng bago o dapat ikaw magbago? What can you do to enjoy what you have as a blessing? Ano ang dapat mong baguhin?